Have you ever looked at successful people and thought, they have special talent, I don't? I used to think exactly the same. Every morning, I woke up with big dreams, but every evening, I felt disappointed. I wanted to improve my life. I wanted to learn something useful, but I always had one excuse. I don't have experience. Maybe you have said those words too. Then, one rainy afternoon, while sitting quietly at home, I asked myself a simple question. What if I stopped waiting to become talented and simply started learning? That tiny question changed everything. I didn't have money for expensive courses. I didn't have a mentor. I wasn't naturally gifted. But little by little, one simple skill at a time, my confidence began to grow. Today, I want to share the 10 easy skills I learned at home with absolutely no experience. None of them made me rich overnight, but together they completely changed the way I see myself. Maybe one of these skills will change your life too. Let's begin. The first skill I learned was speaking English every day. Believe it or not, my first English conversations were with myself. It felt strange. I stood in front of a mirror and said simple sentences. Good morning. I'm making breakfast. Today I feel happy. Sometimes I forgot easy words. Sometimes I laughed at my own pronunciation. Sometimes I wanted to quit after only 5 minutes. But something interesting happened. Every single day became just a little easier. One day, I realized I wasn't translating every sentence in my head anymore. I was thinking directly in English. That small victory made me smile. It also taught me my first lesson. Confidence doesn't come before practice. Confidence comes because of practice. The second skill was drawing simple characters. I always admired people who could draw beautiful pictures. I believed they were born with talent. Still, I picked up a pencil. My first drawing looked like a potato with eyes. I couldn't stop laughing. Instead of feeling embarrassed, I kept going. Every new drawing looked slightly better than the last one. Soon, I discovered something unexpected. Drawing wasn't really about talent. It was about paying attention to tiny improvements. That lesson stayed with me. The third skill was typing faster. It sounds boring, doesn't it? That's exactly what I thought. But after practicing only 15 minutes every day, something surprising happened. Writing became easier. Learning became faster. Even answering messages took less time. One small skill quietly saved hours every month. Sometimes the simplest skills bring the biggest rewards. The fourth skill was cooking simple meals. The first meal I cooked by myself was a disaster. I accidentally added too much salt. The vegetables were overcooked. The rice was sticky. I looked at my dinner and thought, well, at least I tried. The next weekend, I cooked again. Then again. A few months later, my family started asking me to cook dinner. I couldn't believe it. The girl who once burned simple food was now preparing meals everyone enjoyed. Failure had quietly become experience. The fifth skill was saving money. I didn't earn more money. I simply became smarter with the money I already had. Every evening, I wrote down every expense. Coffee, snacks, online shopping. Little by little, I noticed habits I had never seen before. Instead of asking, why don't I have enough money? I started asking, do I really need this? That one question changed my spending forever. The sixth skill was keeping a journal. At first, I had nothing interesting to write. So I wrote about ordinary things. The weather, my breakfast, a funny conversation, my dreams. Weeks later, I read my old pages. I noticed something amazing. I wasn't just improving my English, I was also understanding myself better. Sometimes the person you need to listen to most is yourself. The seventh skill was photo editing. I wanted prettier pictures, nothing more. I watched beginner tutorials and practiced using free apps. At first, every picture looked worse after I edited it. I laughed every time. But slowly, I learned about light, color, and balance. Now I enjoy creating beautiful memories instead of simply taking pictures. The eighth skill was speaking with confidence. This was one of the hardest. Whenever I imagined speaking in front of people, I became nervous, so I practiced alone. Every day, I stood in front of my mirror. Some days, I spoke for 2 minutes, other days for 5. Sometimes I recorded my voice. Listening to myself felt uncomfortable. I noticed every mistake. But instead of feeling discouraged, I corrected one small thing each day. Months later, speaking no longer felt frightening. The fear hadn't disappeared overnight. It disappeared one practice session at a time. The ninth skill was becoming organized. One afternoon, I looked around my room. Books everywhere. Clothes everywhere. Notes everywhere. My room looked exactly like my mind. Messy. That day, I cleaned everything. Then I made a simple daily plan. Only 3 important tasks. No long lists, no impossible goals. Just 3. Surprisingly, I became calmer. I worried less. I finished more. Sometimes organizing your room also organizes your thoughts. Finally, the 10th skill. The most important skill of all. Learning consistently. This one changed everything. At first, I wanted fast results. I wanted to become better in 1 week. Life doesn't work that way. Real change is much quieter. It happens on ordinary Mondays. It happens on sleepy Tuesdays. It happens on weekends when nobody is watching. 20 minutes today, 20 minutes tomorrow, 20 minutes next week. Those tiny moments slowly built a completely different version of me. Looking back now, I realized something important. None of these skills required special talent. None required expensive equipment. None required perfect timing. They only required one thing: the courage to begin before feeling ready. Maybe that's exactly what you need today. Not more confidence, not more motivation, just one small beginning. Because 1 year from now, you'll wish you had started today. I still have many things to learn. I still make mistakes. I still have difficult days. But now I understand something I didn't know before. Every expert was once a beginner. Every confident person was once afraid. Every success story started with one small decision. And maybe your story begins today. Thank you so much for listening and practicing English with me. If this story inspired you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new English listening practice lesson. Now, I have a question for you. Which of these 10 skills would you love to learn first? Write your answer in the comments below. I read as many comments as I can, and I'd love to hear your story. Until our next lesson, keep listening, keep practicing, and remember, small steps today can create a completely different life tomorrow. See you in the next video.